Welcome to Big Chats with Ricky West. Folks, how we doing today? We're moving into a new era. This is season 2. NFL is over. We are not doing sports pods anymore for a long time. We will be back eventually, but for now, we're moving into a new era. Yes, we have a familiar face back here. Mr. Max Ziffer, how we doing?
Let's get third time on the podcast, I believe. Right?
Ideal, bro.
A banner for me in the Big Chats Hall of Fame.
Yes,
Third
sir.
time. And the inaugural season 2 guest. It's an honor.
Yes,
It's an honor.
wonderful. Prop Bomb was season 1 opener. Um, so today we are moving into the segment of sports gambling and casino gambling. We're going to touch a little bit on the sports gambling at the end, but really it's going to be mainly about the casino, your best odds walking in to a casino and walking out with money. This man is the money man right here. He knows
Wow.
all the statistics. He knows what he's doing. Yes, he's won a lot. He's lost a lot. Who the fuck knows where he's at on a lifetime profit?
Not me.
But but he does it and he loves it and he studies it, folks. He studies it and he knows it. Ziffer, what's the first game that you want to get into?
Well, and I like how you said the best odds because for all of you watching, thinking you can make a side hustle out of this or pay your rent doing this, probably not going to happen. Because when you walk into the casino, every game is stacked against you. You're playing against raw odds and statistics. The end of the day, over a certain amount of time, you're not going to beat it. But in my experience, years of consistently going to the casino, I've learned that there's some games, methods you could do to not be a total loser and win sometimes and hang
Correct.
around and have more fun. The first one used to be my favorite. It has moved to number 4. I'm going over 5 games, by the way, not including sports betting. It dropped to number 5 in the power rankings. It's blackjack. Now, blackjack, there's a reason when you walk into any casino, there's a big strip of blackjack tables, and it's a simple game. And because of media popularity, it's fun, and people think there's this perception blackjack is the best game in the house and you have a 48% chance of winning. Have you heard that before?
I have not heard any percent chance. A lot of people love it, and a lot of people think it's the best odds in the casino, but it is far from it.
Right. It's fucking bullshit. Breaking news. It's not true. Anybody that actually plays or has played blackjack consistently will tell you the same thing. The game sucks. I've asked dealers before, they say the same thing. It's a scam. Now, the reason it's on here is because if you play basic strategy, and this is used when counting cards. I actually think counting cards is a lost art long ago. There are 7 decks. It's so hard to get even a slight advantage. But if you use basic strategy, there are certain points when you're dealt a certain hand in blackjack that you actually have a slight advantage over the casino. And there are certain points where you need to capitalize on those advantages. So if you play anything less than basic strategy, a total loser game, even with it, it's not my favorite. I haven't played a hand of blackjack in a very long time, and I really I wouldn't recommend it unless you're playing basic strategy. And another positive part is you don't have to buy in a lot. You could buy in $200. Bare minimum, you're going to have 8 hands at the bare minimum. That's if you get cleaned out. So that is number 5 on my list.
We did go on a cruise one time, and they did have single deck blackjack, which was crazy to see because you just don't see single deck anymore. As you heard him say, it's 7 decks now. Counting cards is out the window. But counting cards on single deck blackjack is a lot easier to do, and it's a lot more hopeful of winning. But you can only find that on Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. That's right, folks. This episode is sponsored here by Royal Caribbean. Thank you, Royal. We'll take our free tickets on the next cruise, baby, and we're going gambling.
Yes, we are. That's one of the few things that I like to do on a cruise.
We love it.
We do. So that wraps up number 5, blackjack. And I think we're going to move to the next one. I had a tough time deciphering what should be number 5 and 4, but number 4 is actually high limit slots. I'm not talking about the shitty penny slots. You see the 75-year-olds playing on a Tuesday night at 2 in the morning, falling asleep in Atlantic City. I'm talking about the slots that are 10 a spin all the way up to 100 a spin. Yes, I hate to admit it. Sometimes I play slots for 100 a spin, and yes, it has gotten ugly. But two reasons why.
I have witnessed a
Oh
bad
God, you
scenario.
saw that.
I've
Oh,
witnessed a bad scenario for
Danielle,
this man.
don't
one
watch this
time.
part. Just skip over. So obviously, if you're playing these, it's known that slot machines are the number one casino moneymaker. So the odds are actually probably worse than blackjack because you're just pumping money into a shitty machine. But the thing is, because of the comps and benefits, this is as a higher it has a higher upside than blackjack. Plus, you have the opportunity to hit a home run
What do you mean by comps and benefits?
because it's the casino's biggest moneymaker. If you put your little player's card in there, you get way. I don't know what the exact denomination is, but you get significantly more comps and benefits, free play, drinks, hotel stays, dinners, because it's the biggest moneymaker. And if you play high limits, there is a decent possibility you can actually hit big. It's not uncommon to go ahead, and if you have discipline, which most of us gamblers don't have the best discipline, but if you do, you could withdraw your money up 100 and several. You know this several times that I've won 1,000 or more. I remember I took Danielle to the casino a year ago. She put one spin in the Wheel of Fortune machine. Shout out to the Wheel of Fortune machine.
Wheel of Fortune, $100 a spin, everyone.
$100 a spin, but if you hit that spin at the end, the minimum denomination you have of winning is 2,500. I've hit that more times I could remember, and I gave Danielle $100. First spin, she won $3,000. So just for the possibility of winning a large amount of money, plus the comps and benefits, high limit slot machines gets the number 4 spot. But make sure if you're not using your player card, please don't play that because that's really the upside of it.
Wonderful. That's a really good input. I'm glad that I asked about the comps and benefits because not everybody understands that aspect of getting those comps, of getting those benefits. So yeah, that's what makes it a better game than blackjack. He's not necessarily saying go in and play this, you're going to win money, but he's saying it's better for you than blackjack. Blackjack out the window, cancel it. Don't play penny slots. $10 a spin or more, folks. $10 a spin or
I
more.
think it's a fair number. $10 a spin or more.
Correct.
You get free steak, maybe Zhao Ting rubbing your back while you're playing.
Zhao Ting!
Shout out to Zhao Ting XT, the Coconut Creek Casino.
Hey, Zhao Ting. Hit up Coconut Creek and ask for Zhao Ting. She'll give you a fabulous massage while you're playing whatever game you would like to play.
As long as you're sitting down. Absolutely.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes. So that's quick. Number 5 and 4. Number 3 is interesting. Texas Ultimate Hold'em. I want to say the biggest downside for this game, you have to buy in a lot. That's a downside because
Correct.
it goes quickly. If you're playing, it's usually 25 minimum, which means it's actually fit. The way the game is set up, you need to buy in your actual bet and then an ante. Essentially, it's poker mixed with blackjack. You're playing poker against the dealer, against the house. That's
Correct.
what Ultimate Hold'em is. So it's really 50 a hand, and the way it's played, you could melt through money quickly.
No, but then a minimum, if you want to play the hand at bare minimum, is another 25.
Right, in which this is the benefit in my eye. Of course, it can hurt you. It's a casino. They don't have games you can win. However, unlike once you put a bet down on blackjack, that's it. But with Ultimate Hold'em, you have 3 chances to alter your bet. The first is when you see your cards. Before the flop, you can bet up to 4 times your bet. So if I have an ace king suited or just an ace king regular, if you have a king 6 or any hand better than that, you're supposed to multiply your bet by 4 times because going against a blind hand, you have the advantage.
King 6, never knew that.
King 6, it's risky, it's scary putting $100 out there on a king 6, but statistically, I know for a fact that's the right way to go. Then after the flop, but you could also check. Then after the flop, you have a chance to put up to 2 times your bet. So if a pair comes out, you see you have an advantage statistically speaking. You can put 2 times your bet, and then you have one more chance to put 1 times your bet after the river and after the final 2 cards. So you have 3 chances to make decisions. And at the end of it, you can also, if you study this, you can count the outs. You could count what's the probability or how many possible combinations can the dealer beat my hand. So I believe it's 20. If it's 21 outs or more, you don't play. Anything less, you do play. That's going to take a while to get into. It's not that hard to learn. So if you are playing, I'd recommend learning how to count outs. But essentially, it's comparable to just calculating your probability of winning the hand. So there's a few things you could do to make decisions in the middle of the game.
Correct.
And
I like that. I like that a lot.
right, as you can see, it's much better than the first 2 shitty options. And and if I'm if I'm
I'm dead.
if I'm playing next to you, if I have a queen 10 and I'm thinking about going or a king 6, perfect example, and I want to put 4 times my bet in, but I look at my partner over here who's loosely looking at his hands, maybe trying to show me, and I see you have a king. Well, that's already one of the few cards I had to win, gain advantage. So maybe I'm not going to put 4x my bet this time. I might just check if I see you have one of my cards. So there's several things you could do in Ultimate Hold'em to try to gain an advantage over the house. And I've seen it. We've seen it with personal friends we know who've won a lot of money. And so this is easily my number 3 spot.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I like that. I have played Ultimate a few times before, and I've come out on top twice. I think I lost once or
2 and 1.
twice. I might be 2-1. I might be 2-2. Um, it is a good game. I do like how you can really play the hand rather than this is it. My
Right.
money's in, and
Jesus,
that's
take the
it.
wheel.
Yeah, literally, literally, take the freaking wheel, bro.
I mean, and any blackjack player knows this, by the way. They always have 20. There must be some little woman under the table controlling the cards or something, because I don't understand how the dealer always has 20 in blackjack. That I can't explain. It seems rigged, and I really don't like it. So that's why it's number 5 though. But any other thoughts on Hold'em before we get to the final 2?
The next two are the money makers. These are
You've
the
seen
big
it.
two. These are the big two. Definitely the best odds. I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, and
Let
I
you
think
take it away.
you're not the biggest gambler, but you've seen both of these in action. You've personally experienced wins, or I think with at least 1 or 2 of these, especially the next one. Number 2 is Baccarat. This is pretty much, in my opinion, the best odds in the best raw odds in the casino. It's pretty much a coin flip, 50-50. If you don't know Baccarat, you could look up how the cards are dealt. I'm not going to get into that, but it's essentially just there's player and banker, there's 2 sides, and you bet on which side gets closest to 9, the final number 9. It's essentially 50-50 because of the way the cards are dealt, the sequence they're dealt. Banker has a very slight advantage, but you're pretty much picking one side, and it's just a coin flip. Now, what I learned to do, I looked this up, is do something that's called a no mirror method. So the way that it's portrayed, you can keep track of the outcomes. Player banker, player banker, player banker.
Correct. Yeah. So the casino offers you a card
Mhm.
and a two-sided pen. One is blue, one is red. So with that pen, you mark each hand, like what happened. Like player is blue, banker is red. So you mark that, and as the card goes on, you could see what the previous one was like 10 hands before this. So he's playing no mirror to that. So he doesn't think that it's going to be that same one again. Like if he sees a trend of like 3 in a row on this every 10th turn, then he'll place his odds against that fourth 10th of a turn.
Right. Yes.
And it's a very good tactic. I think it's very good. And doesn't the banker have like a slight
Mm,
chance too?
Right. The banker. You mean a slight
Slight,
advantage?
yeah, slightly better odds.
But to counter the banker having slightly better odds, because then over time someone could just sit there and just keep playing banker, and if they're betting high hands, there's a high denominations, there's a good chance they could consistently win. Now, to counteract that, casinos I believe if it's $50 or more per hand, they'll take a small percentage of the banker winnings, or if it's 25 per hand, if you win with the number six on banker, they take half your winnings. So by doing that, they kind of even it out to where banker it kind of you pay a price for taking banker.
Correct.
So, but right, but the
And
no
there you go, casino.
and one thing I have to reiterate in Baccarat, please, God, don't play the side bets in any game, really. That's where the odds totally turn against you. And they just give you really shitty payouts for these side bets. They're not probable. It's fun because you could hit a home run on them. $10 could win you 100 if you get this unusual probability of cards. It'll eat. Please don't do it. It's really terrible. It's horrendous. Just stick to the basics, the bread and butter. But correct in Baccarat, it's counted by rows of six turns, columns of six. And let's say if it's player, 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 banker, I'm betting bank the next six, banker, 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 player, banker, the exact opposite. And if I lose, I double my bet every time. So every sequence, my goal is to profit $25. I did that, and I believe I won. My record was I won like 20 sessions in a row. I'd go every night, win $100 to get out. The downside is what you're hoping for essentially is that you will not lose six hands in a row. If you lose six hands in a row, you're going to be down around $1,600. So it could happen. It happened to me. People see it's not ugly. The worst is when you do it and people are looking at you. You look like such a fucking asshole with $1,600 out and you lose, and the dealer's like, it's really cringe. I hate it. There's nothing worse than losing six, and you have to try to keep your cool. Like, oh well, but on the inside, you're like, fuck. And I just lost $1,600.
Dude.
But losing six hands in a row isn't common. But you have to calculate: are my winnings is enough to substantiate now if I lose six times my bet? So as you can see, it's not a perfect method, but I've had the second most success out of any game playing Baccarat. You don't have to do no mirror, by the way. You could just go play for fun, and it's 50-50, and it's fun.
Correct.
So, so you don't have to go totally degenerate like me, throwing 2 grand on a hand and praying you don't make an asshole out of yourself. You can just, chop it up with your friends and have a good time. The money lasts a while. The best odds at the casino. Maybe the other one might be number one might be better, but I'm still trying to determine that. But I do have a number one spot.
Right. It's up in the air. It's your current number one. It
Right.
could
That's
change
why these
back
are
to
power
back.
rankings. Look, if I hit the Super 4 jackpot in blackjack and win $300,000, blackjack's number one. There's no way it's not going to be number one. I was actually playing craps with the guy who won at the Coconut Creek Casino, won 380,000 doing the side bet blackjack. Yeah, 380K, and his buy-in was like $300. How,
Unreal.
right? Wouldn't you want to buy in like 5K? I don't know. Like maybe he's smart for doing
What did
that.
he get? The Royal Flush?
He got the Royal Flush of Diamonds, and he won $380,000.
Insane.
Yeah. So, if by the way, back to blackjack, it's some tables have this. It's a progressive side bet, and if you're betting, I would say $50 or more, you should. That's the only side bet you should do. Put $5 on the blinking red light because I've actually hit it for 20,000 and I didn't play it, so I didn't get the money. Yeah, before the Mayweather fight, I was at that. We went to the Hard Rock. I was playing it and I
No.
stopped and I got a Royal Flush of Hearts and it would have been 20K and I haven't slept since and it's ruined my life. So I would recommend playing that.
Oh my God. Don't play the side bets.
Well, other than
but
that,
I recommend the side bet.
if the potential to win $500,000 off $5, I'd recommend playing it. But
All right, folks. Number one. This game is probably the funnest game to play in the casino, but if you want to win money, you got to suck the life out of the fun and play it properly. You have to play the house. Ziffer, take it away.
and number one on the Power Five is craps. And not just any craps, because most people play craps what they call the normal way, the way you think you should play. You see movies, you see people rolling for. And by the way, if you don't know how to play craps, I'm not going to explain it. Look it up. It's kind of confusing, but you'll get it. You people are smart. You'll get it. People rolling dice, trying to hit the points, and the table goes crazy. But in reality, those people get shredded. The way I play craps, I put my money on the don't pass line. I am betting against everybody at the table, unless they're playing that too. But 90% of the people play the way they think they should play. By betting the don't pass line on the opening roll, I'm hoping for a two or three, or a regular number to hit. Essentially, I'm not hoping. I'm rooting against a seven. I hope a point is established, and after that, I am betting that the shooter craps out. So normally in craps, after a point is established on the opening roll, let's say it's on a six, everybody wants a six to hit and everybody wins. You could make bets on different numbers. Usually a seven is called the big red. No seven, seven out, and all the table goes, oh, shooter, you suck. Seven out, everybody loses money. You can actually bet on the seven and bet against everybody else. And after the point is established, let's say I put 15 bucks on the don't pass line, you can put up to six times your bet. So when you seven out, you have the potential to get, if you put $90, 150 or $180 back. So I bet against everybody else. I'm on a huge run. I've lost sometimes. The downside is it's hard to know when to stop. So you could profit 200, lose 700 the next day. But if I play this 30 times, I'm probably 26-4, honestly. I try to walk away with 25% profit, and it's been extremely kind to me. And I think you've seen it.
Correct.
Correct.
Correct. Yeah. So pretty much play with the house. That's what he plays. The only difference that the house has the advantage on here is if that initial roll, somebody rolls a seven, then boom, he's
Four
screwed.
and 11, and seven is the most common number.
Correct.
And
So that'll screw you. That's where the casino has the route of also taking that money while of taking everyone's money essentially. So if you just play that seven out, chances are, odds are, you are going to win. It is the most rolled number, but you just got to hope that it ain't rolled on that original one.
and
That's all.
that's the beauty about backing your. If they have $15 craps, you could put 15 bucks down. Because if I lose 15 bucks, not a big deal. But if I make it past that opening roll, I can now put 90 out, and now I'm the statistical and the house favorite because seven's the most
Correct.
common number. The downside is, let's say the point is a 4 or 10. For those of you that don't know probability of die, 4 or 10 is a very uncommon number. Because you're the clear advantage, they'll pay you half your winning. So if I put 90 out, you win 45. And it gets a little better for 5 and 9 and 6 and 8, which is almost an even payout because those are the most probable numbers. One thing you should really know, because I know if you don't know craps, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. It's hard to explain. There's a bunch of bets on the fucking table. A seven is the most common number in craps. That's why when someone rolls a seven, the house wins and they crap out. No matter what, if I have one dice or one die, I don't know what the terminology is, and I roll it, no matter what, the second one, I have a chance of getting a seven. So that's why it's the highest probable number. Where if you want to roll a 10, if you roll a one, two, or three on the first die, you don't have a chance of getting a 10. Seven is the most probable number because whatever I roll on that first die, the second one can make a seven. So I hope that helps.
Boom. Boom. Yeah. So the reason why it sucks the fun out of the game, though, it's tough to explain because you got to know the game of craps. But like realistically, like this seven, you could be waiting a long time on a seven to collect
Yeah.
your money. With when you're playing against the house, then you're trying to collect on every single roll. So while you're collecting on every single roll, it's awesome, but your opportunity to lose is much higher because you pretty much, like, let's say you place money on every number, you pretty much have to hit like 8 times before.
It's so improbable.
Yeah, it's really, really tough to make money, but it is the funnest game in the casino. Go out, play against the house, play with the house, have a good time. But if you want to make money and walk out of that casino happy with a grand old smile on your face,
or less miserable. Yeah.
then bing bong, we got Baccarat, we got play with the house and craps behind the line. Take it,
Don't
leave
pass.
it, do what you want with it, folks. We just came out with you with absolute facts, statistics, numbers. You can't beat the stats, you can't beat the numbers. So just don't go in the casino and play blackjack. Don't go in the casino and play slots. Don't go in the casino and
Roulette.
play
Roulette's horrible.
ultimate.
Roulette's
Oh
so
my
bad.
God! Don't go in the
Roulette's the
casino and
fucking
play
worst.
roulette. We did want to touch a little bit on sports gambling and how horrible the statistics are. How stacked the odds are for the house in that, and really just how dumb society has become when it comes to sports gambling. Granted, we all love to sports gamble and we're going to
Right.
continue to do it.
I know it's the worst thing ever and we're gonna go broke, but I'm gonna
but-
continue to do
But
it.
the odds are terrible. If you want to make money, don't gamble sports. Simple as
I
that.
wish it wasn't so terrible.
Like
Because it's the most fucking fun.
exactly. I love watching sports, and throwing some money on it just makes it that much more interesting.
But-
So, sports betting, you need to win 6 out of 10 times to break even.
Normally, because each bet has some juice on it. Normally,
Correct. If you're playing normal sports betting odds,
105 to 150, minus 105 to 115, which means
Then-
you're making even money back.
yeah, then you're going to get even money if you go 6 and 4. You have to go 7 and 3 to profit, folks. Just hold that.
And the lines you're betting on are coin
Hold
flips.
that. Hold
What
that in
Vegas does
that.
in these sports books, it's not hard to make a line. They use basic statistics and numbers and probability to come up with the total. And essentially, you're betting on a coin flip. It's very hard to get an edge. You're betting on a
It
50.
is.
You're just flipping a coin. Now, the odds of getting 7 heads out of 10 times is very hard. And unless you do that, you're not going to make any money. So that's really what I wanted to say on sports betting. It sucks because it's so much fun. It's so easy. The little
Sports
Hard Rock
betting
app.
is
Awesome.
Yeah, it
Hey!
is. Unfortunately, it's awesome. It's very unfortunate, but I just hope people realize that when you're sports betting, you have to win 7 out of 10 or something comparable to that as you continue your betting patterns. But if you're 50-50 and if you bet 100 times, you're going to be down a lot of money. Actually, you're going to be down a lot pending your bet size. So just keep that in mind when you're making your sports bets.
All right, folks. Give this man a round of applause. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. That was awesome today. And folks, guess what? 2 minutes. Dos minutos. Let's go. We got the 2-minute power hour warning. Ziffer, take us off with your 1 minute of fantastic takes.
Yeah, sure thing. And I'm actually gonna dedicate this one to our buddy Andrew Lashoff, who's your co-best man for your wedding. What did he text us right before the show started?
Andrew Lashoff claims that he birdied his first hole.
Birdied his first hole on the course. Now, here's the thing: when I golf with Andrew Lashoff, and I'm not a good golfer either. I'm probably just as bad as him. So
Correct.
I'm not claiming to be good. I suck. He doesn't know how to use his driver, and he duffs shots all the time. I'm sorry, it's true. I love you. But whenever I don't go with them, or his closest friends go with them, he's Tiger Woods. It's unbelievable. He birdies holes. He hits the green off par fours right from
Which
the
is
tee,
just false.
and it's always when we're not with him. So Andrew Lashoff, I'm calling bullshit, and when I'm not there, I want you to record one birdie.
I've golfed with Lashoff probably 30 times. He hasn't birdied once. Not once in all the times that I have golfed with him.
Right.
He might have parred 3 times, maybe 4.
God, they
I'm
suck.
calling bullshit on that birdie. There's no chance. You suck at golf. And Jaime Jaquez, Rookie of the Year, baby. Wemby a bust.
Let's put in the comments. Let's put in the comments your favorite NBA rookies, maybe other than Wemby, because he's probably a clear shot for Rookie of the Year.
Correct.
And tag someone who fucking sucks at golf and lies when they're not with their best friends. Unless you could prove it to me, Lashoff, record you doing something really good in our golf course, one hole. I'm calling BS.
Shai Gillis is crazy nasty, and Luka Doncic is him. I'm a diehard Heat fan till the day I die, but now I will also, as long as they're not playing the Heat, I will root for Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks. I won't root for the Mavs past Luka being on that team because I don't give a flying fuck about that organization. I honestly hate them, but Luka is him.
Yes, he has how many 30-point triple doubles in a row? He is him.
He's at like 4 or 5 now. But on that note, folks, we're going to round it out here. Thank you for joining us today. Big Chats Season 2 over and out, baby.